Yeah, I think it's going to be the main thing we're going to look at is bounty hunters on these high-level individual skilled players versus Sundubu strikers who are relatively highly rated, but they have the synergy of being on a team together for way, way longer, right? So let's see if that teamwork is enough to overtake the ranks of these individual warlords on bounty hunter.
Let's find out. We're ready to transition into game number 1 here. So again, going to be another best of 2 here to see how these teams are going to start off their regular season in the first of 4 weeks. It's going to be night market, it looks like, for game number 1.
Okay, going into it, currently hovered, we have Sundubu strikers, Atlas on as 3Z Breezy. Well, all these are going to change. So let's see what people end up deciding to go for. I know 3Z Breezy has been playing Drakkar himself, so maybe he takes that in, but we get it banned from bounty hunters. No one wants to play against the shotgun. The left click, right click combo is simply too powerful. 3Z Breezy now looking to opt in for the brawler role. Grimella is going to be covered on Rune as the midfield. I'm not sure what Resnog is going to play. We know him as the DUBU player from beta, but opting in for the Kai. We're on night market, so this is like a good pick here. I think DUBU also would have been completely fine, but at least Resnog on Kai is able to provide a little bit more support from the midfield kind of distance.
Yeah, I've not seen nearly as much DUBU love on the day. I don't think we've seen a single DUBU on the day, actually. But not surprised to see the Drakkar ban come out towards Resnog there. That is the one that he plays and favors most frequently these days. So we are going to take here. It is going to be the Rune forward for this match number 2. It's Resnog stepping forward, looking to assist the rest of his team. We are on to the field for game 1.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Gravity's going to perform on the Vice. I haven't seen him play it yet, but Vice is becoming a really strong midfield pick, especially with the Siphoning Wand. Immediately as I say that, 3Z Breezy coming in with the Dash Punch, a really skillful display there. I mean that completely ironically. Juliet being able to KO from nearly anywhere on the map is always funny to me. But using that number advantage, they're still not able to take down a barrier. It's actually Resnog's side that has one barrier down.
Yeah, you need to respect the Flying Phoenix. It is going to take you off the map every single time. And oh my god, the flurry dealing tons of damage to all 3 members of the Sundubu Strikers. Bounty Hunter looking to take it in. Gravity nearly knocks it in with the power cord, but can't quite find it. Now going to still have the numbers advantage. They're pulling out Gumi, and they are going to take it off the back of a double KO.
Getting rid of all those core flips, or the energy in total, kind of was able to save his energy burst there for the next round. He most likely will go for something aggressive here and try to pop it immediately if I was in his position, get some value. But let's see what they do. Gumi trying to walk up on Amy, provide some more pressure, putting down the turret. The Polar Express is here, able to secure the top barrier, and now Ainoob using the core flip. And remember, you do not have to strike after the core flip. It is the next hit that you put into it. And we can see there with the dash, he's able to hit both Resnog and the core. Essentially a guaranteed score there.
Yeah, kind of doing a great job on the Juliet, their preferred pick in this current meta. Able to just smack it in there pretty much on their own and dealing so much damage while they're at it. Great dodge there as well as they move on forward. Gravity looking to buy space wherever they can. 3Z Breezy, though, does win the one-on-one there between the brawlers and is going to buy a little bit of space here for the rest of the Sundubu Strikers, who've just been getting battered relentlessly so far in this game. 3Z Breezy now stepping forward, looking to see if they can take out this other barrier, open up this goal, but it's going to get knocked away by Kainoob and Gumi. Grimella keeping the pressure on, though, does have that blink back on the Rune whenever is needed, and Resnog even stepping forward to fire out the barrage while he's at it.
Yeah, 3Z Breezy running for his life right now while he tries to build up his stagger again. I would really actually like, in this situation, when he was low prior to getting staggered, for him to walk back. Oh my goodness, the double KO and almost a triple from Kainoob. Let's see if Resnog can hold it down. Really good clear to the bottom side. Actually, a really good clear in general. Able to stall a little bit longer. 1 second on 3Z Breezy. They do get the ace, but he's able to walk in, dash punch. Just barely misses it to protect that final barrier.
Oh, and Flying Phoenix just does the rest of it. No goalie there. Nobody ready to defend. It sneaks right past Grimella. 3Z Breezy too far away. And Sundubu Strikers a
bit of a technical error here.
yeah. All right, I think we might just be back here. Stream did not die, only we died, so we are back on here. Sai, I'm gonna ask for a stream when you can.
Okay. So our side of the footage is down, but I'm watching on stream, a little bit delayed action. I saw someone mention that my audio was bugging, so hopefully that is resolved now. But let's see. Okay, there we go. Our footage is back. Oh my goodness, I turned back in. We got a KO and a barrier down immediately, almost a second barrier, and there it is. What is going on?
Well, Bounty Hunters have just kept at it while we were gone. I mean, we might have missed a little bit of the draft there, but the Bounty Hunters have not missed a step. They are just going to continue scoring. That is now 4 scores in a row for them up against these DUBU strikers, who are just constantly being kept on the back foot from this pressure from Gravity and Kainu.
Yeah, being able to, like, the additional damage from the Vice from afar, instead of being able to trade with the Juliet or the Rune, is providing so much here. Like, we can see, oh my goodness, Kainu with the aggressive plays, getting the KO, getting the barrier. Are they able to finish it off? They are. Gumi walking up, playing as forward there, getting that second point for them.
Yeah, the transition there was beautiful. Like, Gravity is still down there on the bottom side, ready to move back if the situation calls for it. But Gumi is ready to just dash forward with the cyber swipe and keep the pressure on to make sure that they are going to be able to score here. The glitch pop there is what's responsible for taking out that barrier. Gumi is basically playing a hybrid role.
Yeah, and you can see here, Grimella was down to almost no HP without even being near an opponent. There's so much AoE damage coming out from between Gravity's primary, his jump, or his movement ability, and on top of that, Gumi throwing out glitch pops and turrets put so much damage without putting themselves at risk, and that is what's allowing Kainu to walk around and just get these free kills, because the side of Sundubu Strikers is running around trying to just protect their own life.
Yeah, a great punish there from Sundubu, though. They do manage to open up the goal when there's no goalie present, showing how you can still punish this playstyle. But Kainoob, going to punish something himself, managed to dash forward, take out a member, and that's going to be a second one as Gumi gets the double KO for the side of the Bounty Hunters. And now 3 versus 1 up against this Kai. They open up the goal. Can they smack it in time? The respawn from Grimella, the double stun comes out from Gravity, power chord as well, and they just can't quite take it in, but yes, they can. Supernova does the last bit.
Yeah, using the Supernova there while also having the turret below them, pretty much guaranteeing that no matter where this car goes, as long as it's going somewhere left, it's going in.
For sure. We are now into the draft. Bounty Hunters have been running away with this first match. This is 6 goals in a row. We haven't seen one scored by Sundubu quite yet. What would you look for if you're them, Mystic, to try to pull yourself back into this?
It's really tough here because we're getting Amy on the extra special. I'm not sure if this draft really favors him that well. Maybe Grimella picking up extra special as well on Rune will help with some KOs. Just having that guarantee of the banish into double pillar or single pillar might be enough to turn this around. But I do think this draft is going to benefit Bounty Hunters way more.
Just going from bad to worse here. Grimella does have those stacks on stacks. They're going to be even more crucial to stay alive. 3Z Breezy does manage to pick up a nice little knockout there, giving them a nice opportunity here to see if they can move forward and take out some barriers. Kainu keeping it on the left side of the map, but Grimella and 3Z Breezy have successfully pushed it over. The respawn comes through in time, though, and nothing basically accomplished by Sundubu Strikers. They do finally get themselves a barrier, but Gravity keeping the pressure on with that Supernova. Grimella forced to blink away. Now it's a numbers advantage for the Bounty Hunters as they just want to push it into the goal once again. Gumi stepping up to midfield, ready to be there for assistance for the rest of the team where necessary. Throws out the glitch pop. Now going to be pushed out and cleared, though, by Sundubu.
Yeah, almost being able to score the gold there from Bounty Hunters with that mosh pit up top. But we are seeing and this is exactly what I'm talking about, Grimella is actually putting in a good amount more work now that the extra special is there, getting these constant banishes. And although that particular interaction didn't lead to a kill, we saw Kainu have to walk all the way back to his own side to pick up the health orb. Wasn't enough, though, Kainu being able to get the kill on Grimella. Just so many higher levels, and the flurry being enhanced by specialized training. Great pass up to Gravity. During overtime, core speed going up, not enough, or just too fast for Reznok to be able to defend it.
Yeah, a crazy level lead. Just compare Kainoob to 3Z Breezy here. 3 levels ahead on the Juliet, Juliet versus Juliet matchup, and that's just making so much of a difference here. You can see when they start brawling up against each other, Gravity channeling a big supernova. The kill picked up there for Bounty Hunters as well. They get another one off the map, make it 2, double kill to Kainoob, and they just push it in with the Phoenix. Easy peasy for Bounty Hunters.
There's so much damage coming out there from all their characters. And a little funny interaction or sequence was Breezy Breezy trying to dash punch on Gravity, going right below him. Gravity popped the core flip and just knocked them out through pure knockback. But here we see Gravity walking up, trying to be a little bit forward, while Breezy Breezy doing a good job of actually applying some pressure on Kainoob and Gumi.
Yeah, Gumi utilizing that extra special they picked up earlier, just continuing to throw on out these sentries to make sure it stays over on the other side, as they do manage to take out one barrier there for the side of the Sundubu Strikers. The banish from Grimella once again, and a double KO for 3Z Breezy. Sundubu Strikers coming alive, looking for their first goal of the match, and they get it.
Really good combo there from Grimella and 3Z Breezy. So what actually happened is Grimella got the banish, knowing that the pillar was going to come down. Kainoob walks up to try to block it from getting it to stay permanently. He does do that, but by doing so, put himself in a position to get double dash punch by 3Z Breezy, getting rid of him and Gravity.
For sure. Grimella now 1 versus 2, keeping it over on this side. Gravity going to throw down the supernova, nearly gets a kill from midfield onto 3Z Breezy, who does manage to push it out and get away to safety, but going to be shattered, going to be out of stagger here, and going to be potentially going down. They don't play carefully, now ready to rejoin the fray, but Kainoob and Gravity are keeping the pressure on. Into the elusive goes Grimella, as he's the one at risk now, and he's going to get taken out by the sentry. 3Z Breezy now going to be in the 1 versus 2 on that forward matchup, and Gravity keeping it on alongside Kainoob. What can they do to defend this? Reznok has his work cut out for him, does manage to go for the flip, does manage to clear it back over to 3Z Breezy, and they do open up the goal on the other side. Will they be able to close it out, though? A nice power chord from Gravity. Kainoob stepping forward, ready to knock it in at a moment's notice. There's the supernova. It gets deflected away by Reznok, pushing it forward. Kainoob cannot find the angle. Grimella plays it safe, and Kainoob gets a knockout for themselves while they're at it.
The DUBU Strikers is fighting for their life right now, just trying to stay alive, and there's so much random damage coming out from Bounty Hunters that they're just getting hit by these stray projectiles or just objects on the screen. They don't even have to, Bounty Hunters don't even have to risk putting themselves at any danger in order to make these trades happen on, or just like these stagger trades. Gravity doing a great job between the Siphoning Wand and Power Chord, just tacking on free damage because of the chain lightning that's happening, and eventually they get staggered enough. But it looks like it doesn't matter. 3Z Breezy, Grimella together, able to find the goal on Gumi.
I'm going to be honest, Gumi got caught a little sleeping there. He was not ready for that one to come on in, and just does not manage to deflect it. Pretty much a nice, clean knock-in there from 3Z Breezy. Reznok has been doing a fantastic job at managing to keep the defenses up while his teammates get knocked out over and over and over again. Crucial for that goal, as it really felt like Bounty Hunters should have scored multiple times in that round. Now with a numbers advantage once again, Bounty Hunters do not want to give up this round. They want to clean this one out 3-0. They will be able to do it with just 1 more goal.
Kainoob with the great core flip there. He wasn't able to push the core in, but he just used the opportunity to KO Reznok, so they at least have the man up. And without their goalie, they're down a good wall of defense there. Maybe they're able to secure it here, but Reznok is back up. Let's see what happens in this next interaction.
Nice, another knockout from Gravity. Just catches them up too close to the blast zone up on the top side. Now going to keep the pressure on with the sentry. Gumi is out here playing forward from the goalie position once again, and it might cost him another barrier. The punishes here from Sundubu Strikers, they're getting better as the match drags on, and if they can keep it going, maybe they can swing the momentum back into their favor. 3Z Breezy going for it, doesn't quite land the goal, but can keep the pressure on with the flurry. Kainoob now has control over the core on the bottom side. Gumi throws down the sentry to push it back over, and the flying Phoenix is all it takes. Bounty Hunters takes it.
And that's game 1. It was 3-0, 3-0, 3-2, so at least Sundubu Strikers were making a comeback there towards the end. And I'm hoping to see in that next game, let's see if that momentum that they were starting to build in that round 3 carries over, and maybe they can make it, take a few rounds themselves.
For sure, looking like they are getting stronger, right? The first they take a couple of rounds in that first game. Right towards the end, they get themselves not a set, but very close to a set. If they can keep that going, if they can show a little bit more of that in game number 2, then they can be maybe a little bit more competitive.
Oh, unfortunately, I think my audio got kicked out. I'm not sure if stream can hear me. Okay, so it looks like Gordo's audio kicked out. No worries. I'll continue as I am standing inside Oni Village right now, holding down the fort with my twin drive Atlas right behind me. Oh,
All right, be back there. I think that was just a little Discord bugging out on us.
Okay, Gordo's back. Everything should be fine. I think we're ready to move on to game 2. One thing that I want to just quickly mention is the DUBU Strikers' coordination was getting a lot better. I don't think they need to ban anything in particular because it's hard to kind of target one specific thing. I really think it was just the positioning that was causing a lot of KOs, and then not the Vice with the Siphoning Wand putting on a lot of pressure on top of Gumi on Amy, just being able to tack on even more damage from the goal line, which made their stagger bars deplete. So it's really just position a little bit better, stop getting hit, and I think they have what it takes to take a couple rounds, if not the game, off Bounty Hunters.
Yeah, would love to see a little bit more fight back from the DUBU Strikers coming into this game number 2. You know, they needed to get warmed up. Bounty Hunters really pressures you in a way that some of the other teams in this league might not, and that maybe your warm-ups won't. We are ready to get into game number 2 here. We got everything loaded up. Let's send it into the map.
Okay. Okay, we're loading in now.
Should be rolling up here, and it's going to be Demon Days. Got those concentric circles to see who's going to be able to guard here. I've been seeing a lot of Atlas on this map.
I've been seeing Rasmus goalie quite a bit. It's usually the brawler goalies who can take the pauldrons just to increase their size, do a lot. This is a very brawl heavy map, so even going double if not triple brawler is something that can happen. You get a lot of these mosh pits in the corner just trying to force it in with these huge amounts of damage coming out. So we see the Drakkar and the Vice ban. They do not want to play Vice. DUBU Striker says we had enough of that. You know, it was too much for us to handle. But giving Gravity his signature Juno champion. So let's see how this game ends up turning out.
Yeah, that's going to be a curious one here. I mean, that is what Gravity is the most comfortable on. It is been spoken of as the must ban up against the Bounty Hunters, but this time they are going to manage to get it. Now, switching between some stuff is Kainoob. They do end up going for the Juliet.
So not sure what the starting awakenings are, but we do see Era X locked in from DUBU Strikers with Reznok on Amy goalie, it seems. Oh no, I actually guessed this wrong. It's going to be an Amy forward to support 3Z Breezy on X with Reznok on Era.
All right, interesting setup there. It does look like it's heavy impact and
Unstoppable. So Unstoppable doesn't really bother 3Z Breezy that much. You actually make it a little bit easier for him to tack on the damage when X Maximus comes down. But Heavy Impact is going to lead to a lot of extra damage being put on, and then eventually once they're staggered, the KOs will start coming through.
Yeah, 3Z Breezy kind of double dipping there on both his and the other team's awakenings, and getting some good damage already here. Kainoob, though, looking to do the same. Grimilla and Reznok get knocked down pretty low by a nice little combo there. They are looking to work their way through these barriers. A knockout there achieved for the DUBU Strikers. They are looking better and better as this match plays on, and now are very close to being able to open up the goal. 3Z Breezy up there in their face, knocks Kainoob pretty low, but can't manage to finish off the target. Kainoob dashes down with the Flying Phoenix, exposes himself for a second, but will not end up getting taken out.
Yeah, a really good play by 3Z Breezy, so he recognized that he was just a slight amount of EXP off from turning level 2. He looks to go pick up the orb immediately, turn level 2, and now he has access to his ultimate here. And you can see Gravity is still level 1, which means that just turned level 2, but it made a big difference where just having the level advantage early, you get to ult him way more than the enemy team on that first point.
Yeah, great catch there by 3Z Breezy. Was coming by incredibly quickly. Goalie was ready to catch it and just sneaks it into that bottom corner, manages to get the score in for the side of the DUBU Strikers. And they are the ones who draw first goal here in this match number 2. Now, losing some circles, though, to the early pressure from Gravity and Gumi.
I do like the turret from Gramella. Really good glitch pop, getting that second and final barrier there. 3Z Breezy walking back. He sees he has gravity in his sights. He does not care that he's staggered right now. He is out for blood. He is walking with a vengeance. And during that time, Gramella is able to solo score through Kainoob and Gumi.
The forward Aimi ends up paying off there. Gets a nice little goal snuck in there off the cyber swipe. Gumi just can't keep up with it. Didn't have the Rose Warp available. Wasn't ready to be able to catch the core as it ended up coming by. Now Reznok playing defense here, just keeping it behind that barrier. But you can see smaller character not playing one of those brawler goalies. Neither team is, and it's letting these barriers drop a lot faster than in some of the earlier matches we saw today.
And then you end up in the situation where Kainoob, once these gold barriers are open, he can just use any ability on Juliet, and it's a guaranteed it's a guaranteed point on Era, because Era does not have any anti-stuffing abilities.
Yep, that's the cost that Gumi is risking here, or that Reznok is risking here rather, is it's going to get smacked back in, and that's going to be an open goal once again. You can see the Bounty Hunters have been able to convert these into goals incredibly quickly, although they are going to lose a member, maybe playing a little too aggressive, a little too fast and loose with it. As 3Z Breezy and Gramella now going to take control of the core, going to look to pressure on to Gumi, who smacks it away, but 3Z Breezy is there. 3Z Breezy is ready and is throwing out the bell ringer, looking to bully Gumi off of the defense. The other forward's going to have to move back to be able to pick up the slack here. Another big bell ringer nearly takes him down. Gumi now going to be shattered, going to have to hide out and get some of that stagger back, and is going to end up biting it. It actually wasn't even Gumi. That was just the rest of them getting pushed farther and farther back away. Now it's going to be a kill out of the Juliet, and Gramella going to look to see if they can bust open this goal.
I really like what Gramella did there, using the middle hazards to slow down the core to get a perfect setup on the turret, guaranteeing that final barrier. And they are the man up right now with no goalie on the side of Bounty Hunters. Really good save from Gravity, jumping back and catching the core just before it makes it in. Ooh. But the combo from Gramella and 3Z Breezy is just too much for Bounty Hunters.
Super well played there, and DUBU Strikers are going to end up taking the first set here in this game. A big turnaround from what we saw in game number one. I was getting a little bit worried there, Mystic, but now it's actually looking like DUBU Strikers are menaces to be feared on this map.
And take a look at the awakenings here. We got Reznok taking prime time, Amy taking away Stagger Swagger, which I also think it's fair to take extra special there, but now X gets extra special, and at least Bounty Hunters, no one on their side gets Stagger Swagger. So I would actually say that is the better pickup for them. Gumi not being able to get prime time is absolutely huge. And now we're going to see, I would say DUBU Strikers got a much better draft out of here in terms of the awakening. So you can take a look at 3Z Breezy, already putting Gravity to half. They're putting on so much more pressure, but Gramella actually getting taken out by Kainoob's solo walking up and putting on the work on the barrier and their team.
Yeah, again, something that we've been seeing out of Bounty Hunters that we just haven't seen from many other teams today is Gumi's willingness to get out of the goal box and step up and play like a third forward. It pays off for them again big time as they manage to just rip through the enemy goal incredibly quickly. They get it exposed, they get it smacked in there by Kainoob, and now start this second set with a 1-0 lead. 3Z Breezy now in the X Maximus, looking to return the favor over on the other side. Gramella is there for the backup. But so far, they haven't been able to take out both circles, only one of them. And Kainoob and Gravity want to turn that back around. They've already exposed the goal. It's going to be Gravity looking to get it past this sentry. Does manage to do so, throwing down the Blobos. Kainoob is there. The pass down. The hit in from the Flying Phoenix. Kainoob gets a second one.
Yeah, they were able to. Bounty Hunters immediately within 10 seconds got both barriers up and open up the goal. The way DUBU Strikers wins this is slowly over time attrition, with Gramella putting on damage on Amy, and same thing with 3Z Breezy, right? They just have to deal more damage than Bounty Hunters can heal, and eventually they'll get the man up. But that means Reznok has to hold the fort down until something like that can happen. And here we see a great situation of the tornado coming up, turret coming down, but they weren't able to convert it into anything, and actually led to their own barrier getting losing one circle.
Yeah, that's the other side of the playing up part that DUBU end up losing themselves one circle, but 2 circles picked up in trade. That's going to be worth it in the long run. 3Z Breezy now just looking to keep the pressure on, dashing forward, looking to take out Kainoob. Can't quite knock him out, but will be able to buy enough space and will be able to let Grimella score an easy goal.
Yeah, great work from there. And actually, this is what I want to point out of Reznok. Did a good job of just holding it down, right? The longer Reznok can hold it down, the more his forwards have time to kind of enact their plan and let 3Z Breezy run free with X.
Absolutely, and that's all you want to do. I mean, 3Z Breezy, look at him. He doesn't even have any strikers near him. He's just stepping up into the back of the goal, being like, this is where I belong, man. This is where I want to be in case the opportunity strikes. Now moving back down, takes out Kainoob with a bell ringer, and Grimella and Reznok are there to pick up the core, move it over towards 3Z Breezy, and execute the game plan as written. Gumi now up pretty far up with the X, but 3Z Breezy doesn't have the cooldowns, can't actually punish. Good awareness there by Gumi.
What? I don't think they managed to take advantage of that man up. Grimella was looking kind of... They're just chasing the core around with Reznok. You need to let Reznok either get the core or swap with Reznok if you're low, and let him play forward. And we see here immediately once Kainoob was back, they were able to break a barrier. 3Z Breezy gonna try to finish off the staggered Kainoob, but I think he just missed it in time. And the stagger bar healed up. He's re-staggered again, but they lost their final barrier. Maybe they can convert this. Really good primary from Reznok, ended up leading to a kill. But Gravity with the Juno Blob striking down. Great strike from him.
Yeah, that's gonna even it up now at 1-1 as far as the set scores go for Bounty Hunters and Sundubu Strikers. Bounty Hunter strikes back in that round number 2, despite the unfavorable draft that you described. They just find a way to be able to be more aggressive with the Juliet and find more goals.
Yeah, I really do think that came down to positioning there. Grimella needs to trust in Reznok to be able to save those goals and not give up the pressure in the midfield and help out 3Z Breezy tack on damage. And when Grimella was low, you just swap out with Reznok, and that's something that I would like to see Sundubu Strikers do more of the rotating of the goal. Reznok can easily walk up with Amy and apply pressure, right? Amy's the known midfielder of the patch. Let him free. Let him soar.
Yeah. The training there picked up by Reznok going to make this a super dangerous magical Maelstrom when it does end up coming on through. Now Grimella actually going to be staggered early on, as is Gravity. Both are going to have to back away from the front lines, but Grimella finds the front lines coming at him. He's going to have to be ready to defend, dashes forward, gets some good damage onto Kainoob. There's the Maelstrom, doesn't quite find its target, but the barriers are going to drop nonetheless. 3Z Breezy now just beaten on Gravity, forcing him to jump away with that blob bounce. Reznok now on the defense. 2 shatters come through. Kainoob keeping the damage up, but can't quite get the goal scored. But with both barriers still up, they can play this so aggressively. Gumi manages to finish off one of the targets, and now 3 versus 2 on the defense. Gumi wants to knock it in. Kainoob is ready with the Phoenix and slides it in there for another goal.
Really good coordination from Bounty Hunters. We saw Gumi walk up and take that spot of the forward, letting Gravity fall back. Gumi's like, it's my time. I will score this. This is multiple times that Gravity off rip is able to throw a slime out and get that first barrier within 2 seconds of the round starting.
Yeah, doing a great job of redirecting these cores wherever necessary to be able to actually knock those down. Gets another one there. Super well played by Gravity. Back onto his one trick. Looks very comfortable here on this Juno, and there's another score. This time, it's Gumi who earns it.
Gumi making his presence known, just dashing forward. He says, I got 2 barriers behind me. I can walk up. And right now, it's looking like a completely different game versus round 1. Sundubu Striker is a little bit lost, and they're getting the damage tacked onto him. 3Z Breezy, before even swinging a single punch, has half of his stagger gone. I think a little bit better on the target acquisition here will do good for them. Either going after Gumi or Kainoob is probably the case, because Gravity has the elusive on the Juno with the jump, but immediately good pressure from them, getting 2 barriers, trading one barrier back, but they still have that final circle holding them down. Let's see if they can convert this into a score.
Yeah, you can see the familiarity here from Bounty Hunters. They're just executing their game plan at a higher level now than they were in the earlier matches. Kainoob pushing Reznok away, trying to buy that space. Gumi now has to play defense on an open goal, but is comfortable doing so on the Estelle once he's got those cooldowns up. The damage from 3Z Breezy, though, substantial. Gets a Bell Ringer onto 3. Once he gets that X Maximus, should be able to try to push it the rest of the way in. Is just beaten on Kainoob for now, buying space for the team. Grimella looking for the goal, but cannot find an angle to knock it in up against Gumi.
On Gravity, again, he is so good with these slimes of just securing these off angles and getting into like the smallest pocket, either breaking the barrier or getting the score. But right now, here we see again 3Z Breezy on Gravity, and this is a situation where I would say like you go on Gumi or you go on Kainoob here. Gravity has so much of elusiveness. Ooh, what an angle from Reznok. Taking one back for Sundubu Strikers.
Again, it feels like Gumi just out a little far sometimes. And that is something where Sundubu Strikers have been able to find angles to punish. They've been able to sneak in some goals that you'd be surprised that actually make their way in. Gumi, though, now back on the defense of the barriers and is just immaculate here, dancing around, keeping the core away at every angle.
Gravity looking really low here, might get taken out. 3Z Breezy looking to finish him off. We have one more barrier left on Bounty Hunter's side. Grimella taking that final one out, but it's 3Z Breezy who gets KO'd, and the round goes to Bounty Hunters. Gumi walking up, he doesn't even care what's happening on his side of the field. He's just like, I'll score. The barrier's open on their side.
Yeah, they give one up, but this time they just snatch the momentum right back, move themselves over, get the KO on the X, who is now going to be last pick in the draft, and they do manage to get themselves a nice, easy score. Looking like it's going to be quite a bit to be looking at here. Monumentalist at the infinite slot.
Monumentalist is going to be benefiting Era quite a bit here. Just Reznok having the ability to throw out the NATO from spawn, let it charge up all the way, and it's as big as the entire barrier here. And overall, we see Juno with the Stinger, which maybe the Era has to deny there. Juno's Stinger is so powerful. I think if you're Reznok, you actually do have to deny it, because now we'll see how quickly the staggers of Sundubu Strikers disappear. And you can look at Grimella, already pretty much staggered, and there it is, without doing a single thing that round.
Oh, another easy knockout there for the Bounty Hunters. Stepping forward, Gravity with the blob bounce, stepping forward, ready to fulfill their goal of getting this goal in there. Kainoob going to get knocked away here, still staggered, but not quite at risk of getting knocked out yet. Has plenty of space to be knocked horizontally across the map. Reznok with a nice save there off of the Bewitching Beam, but now we're getting away from him. Does manage to smack it back out there, but Kainoob's right on top of him, ready to try to take this goalie off of the map and open themselves up for an easy score. Gumi pushing it down on the bottom side. Magical Maelstrom is huge, though, pushes it back. Gumi now taking quite a bit of damage from Grimella. Going to try to push them back with the Piercing Beam, but now going to be once again on the right side of the map. Sundubu Strikers have to be on the back foot. Grimella knocked incredibly low. 3Z Breezy waiting on their cooldowns. Dash in on to the side of Kainoob. Wants to take out this Juliet, but Juliet's going to take one with her. It's going to be a 2 versus 2 on the map now. 3Z Breezy has some time to try to push it onto this side, but Gumi gets back in time.
They do have double core flips up. Maybe they can make something happen here, but immediately, just like 2 abilities, 3Z Breezy staggered already, and he's most likely going to go down with an if Kainoob can find him. But great catch from Gumi there with his own core flip. 3Z Breezy getting taken out. Grimella does drop the Polar Express. Maybe it's enough, and finds the angle going to the top pocket. Great shot from Reznok.
Reznok's a sniper with these. That's not the first time this series that we've seen Reznok go for the core flip and snipe it in from across the map.
Yeah, he's been doing great with those core flip shots. And right now, it looks like, at least, I would say Grimella is stepping up a little bit more and getting these barriers, while 3Z Breezy has been getting the pressure on people. But the Stinger is putting on so much work, so hopefully they're able to stay alive. Right now, Bounty Hunters is looking low, though. 3Z Breezy has his core flip. He pops it early, I think hoping to just either catch the core while it's moving fast or maybe get a KO, but neither happens. They do end up with a KO, and now they can turn this into an advantage. Let's see if they can break those barriers.
3Z found themselves a fantastic position in this game, was knocking on 3 people earlier on, managed to get the KO onto Kainoob, who is now back onto the map, though. Doesn't look like they've actually been able to cash out much for it. Kainub going to be forced into the elusive once again, going to take out both barriers. Reznok barely saves a goal there, but the pressure is not relenting just yet. Magical Maelstrom to buy a little bit of space, and they actually do manage to get a KO there. That's going to buy them the space they were looking for. Kainub going to be down for a little while, and 3Z Breezy wants to knock it in along with Grimella. The Bell Ringer doesn't quite find its way out of the core. Grimella is there to catch it at midfield, but it does get cleared back over to Reznok.
Yeah, they're just trying to look for a pass to 3Z Breezy to get that core flip, but they find the pass. It wasn't enough, though. Kainub knowing exactly what to do in that situation to stop it from leading into anything. 3Z Breezy already staggered again. This damage coming out between Kainub and Gravity with Stinger is so much, and it just ends up with a kill. Gumi coming in with the jump to secure it, and now he gets to walk back. Oh, and the bounces off the top and bottom. A little bit of a demon angle there. Reznok was not able to tying up this round.
And Grimella getting a little desperate there, going in for the Cyber Slash, trying to dash forward and knock it in at a miracle angle, but not even really being able to find the core there, let alone the goal. And that is going to just leave Reznok all alone to not really be able to get the save there. As you said, a really tough angle now going to be on the defense once again. 3Z Breezy knocked incredibly low here earlier on. It looks like Kainub ahead in the Brawler matchup, staying right outside the range of 3Z Breezy, looking to see if he can knock this guy into the staggered state. Gravity, though, keeps the pressure on, stepping forward, throwing out the Blobos, wants to be able to open up this goal. Kainub gets the second one down, and it's an open goal now. No KOs found just yet. Kainub going to have to back away for a little bit while as they are down on the stagger, but now going to dash in, looking for Grimella. Can't find the kill, but does find the core and nearly is able to score a goal off of it. Now ready to throw out the flurry. Doesn't quite get the angle, but they don't even need it. Gumi has snuck it in there from the other side of the map.
Yeah, using the ultimate, and it just touches the core. You saw the way Grimella was walking. She thought that was already clear. She was trying to move up for a pass. Didn't even walk back to try to catch it, and it ended up just slowly walking in. Does have core flip here, so maybe they can make a play happen. They're trading 1-for-1 on the barriers right now. Grimella's looking for an angle on the core flip, but maybe paying attention a little too much to the core. Misses Kainub walking up, and you can see the adrenaline rush pop. Kainub walking again at the speed of light. We saw this in the earlier series as well, but once the adrenaline rush pops, it is so hard to keep up with that character.
Unstoppable in these numbers advantage situations have been the Bounty Hunters. They get themselves another one onto 3Z Breezy, and you know, if you can't score the goal, you can at least keep it this way forever. Reznok nowhere nearby. Kainub flips it in and picks up a 3-1 win for a 2-0 victory on the match.
Really good play by Bounty Hunter. We did see some DUBU strikers kind of get the hang of it in that round one, but eventually it looks like Bounty Hunters just scaled out of it. I think there was a little bit better target acquisition or positioning that could have happened from some DUBU strikers. We saw a little bit of ball chasing. We didn't see any rotations from Reznok come up. And overall, while I think Reznok performed really well, I don't think the era pick was particularly that strong. We saw Gumi on the Estelle do much more damage and provide more support to his teammates. And anytime their barrier was open, Gumi actually scored 3 goals that game, right? He was able to just walk up and be a third forward, which is such a big deal on this map. You as an era goalie cannot defend this wide angle or lane against three people trying to score it in, especially when Estelle has all these ranged.
Yeah, for sure. Gumi showing up as everything that was promised there, getting so much done in this game, and you know, constantly being able to make the difference, scoring quite a few goals in their own right, and just constantly being able to support even on the Estelle here. You know, not a pick that we see Gumi on all the time. Really gets a lot done here, and is you know, going to end up coming away with the win 2-0.
Yeah, so really good work from Bounty Hunter starting off week 1 2-0. We'll get to see more of some DUBU strikers in the future. Maybe they can get a little bit of that positioning and coordination tighter. But overall, I didn't think they performed bad. I thought it was a relatively strong performance against what was predicted as the #1 team of the league, right? That's something to keep in mind, that this was an uphill battle for them, and I thought